I want y'all to follow me on a couple steps I'm about to take you through. I think, first of all, I know we talked about the like a quote unquote conspiracy with the, how everything transpired basically in like 24 hours from being released to all of a sudden magically being signed by the Patriots. But let's rewind a little bit back, okay? Antonio Brown gets traded by the Oakland Raiders. And all the moves that the Oakland Raiders made this offseason was because not only do they want to become a better team, but everything has a bigger reason. The Oakland Raiders are moving to Las Vegas for a stadium, okay? Scared money doesn't make money, okay? And you try to fill seats and all those type of things. So every coach comes in and thinks, well, if I get a guy in my program, maybe I can control him. I can help make him into the player that will be willing to play for our organization. Clearly, that didn't work out. Why? For the reasons that Stephen A., Max, and everyone else has said about Antonio Brown. He's a me-first guy. He's a very selfish guy. He's not an honest guy. So you know what Mike Mayock said? I don't want this. We can't have this guy in our program. I can't. If we're trying to build this culture, a culture similar to New England, there's no way we can do that with this guy in our program. So Mike Mayock said, okay, we sat by your side with the whole helmet situation. Fine. We sat by your side with the whole crowd therapy situation. Fine. But you not showing up. You not coming to practice. You not doing everything that the other 89 guys are doing. I got to put the kibosh on that. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to take your money. Antonio Brown is just crazy. There's no other way around this whole situation.
Like Fox,
wait a minute, to sacrifice, think about this. What individual would celebrate losing $30 million?
Somebody that knows they're going to get $30 million.
But he's not. Hold on. But
he got the $30 million back.
Hold on. Let me stop. Hold on. Let me stop you right there. Okay. This is the second part of the equation. Bill Belichick, no one is going to outfox Bill Belichick, okay? Bill Belichick is the type of person that he buys penny on the dollar, okay? This whole $20 million option, Antonio Brown will never see that.
I want to address this.
Hold on. He will never see that $20 million.
What if he balls this year and they win a
Super Bowl? Hold on, they had a similar situation with Darrelle Reeves when he came over. He had a one-year deal with another year with an option year. He never saw that. That's how the Patriots operate. That's how Coach Belichick operates. And this whole $10 million that he's supposed to see this year, guess what it is? It's a signing bonus. You know what you can do with a signing bonus as opposed to like your regular salary? You can structure it any way he wants. So it's basically going to be week to week. You're going to have to prove to me that you're going to follow the Patriots way, because the minute that you don't, you will never see any more money than the following week. That's how the Patriots, they play checkers, not chess. That's how they have the chess. They play chess, not checkers. They always come out on the other side of this whole thing. They're willing to take risks in this particular situation, because guess what? It's not going to cost them anything. They're still the Patriots. They're still going to be good with Antonio Brown or without Antonio Brown. So it's really up to Antonio Brown. If you're going to fall in line and be a part of what's going on right here, fine. If you don't, we're going to cut you behind, and who's going to sign you?
Go ahead, man.
But here's where I read the same facts as you do and have much of the same analysis, but let me just present you another alternative that fits the facts you just said. What if Drew Rosenhaus sits down with Antonio Brown and says, they're not going to trade a first and a second for you? Way back when Mike Tomlin correctly said, as you've pointed out many times, we want volunteers, not hostages. He was a well-paid hostage still in Oakland, right? Mm-hmm. He got out of there. He wasn't a volunteer. What if he said, they're not going to give up a first and a second for you, and had a conversation with Belichick and said, okay. You know, it could be a conversation like this. If it doesn't work out in Oakland, would you be interested? Yeah, but on a one-year deal for... And then all you have to do is go to the client and say, okay, you can get 10 guaranteed, or 9, whatever the number is going to be guaranteed up front. And then you can get the same money, but you're going to have to be a good soldier. You're going to have to are you willing to do that? Then we have to get you out of Oakland. If AB signs up for that, think of the facts. First, there was helmet gate, as they say nowadays, right? Then he blasts the team on social media, throws everyone under the bus, including his teammates, about the fines. Then, and doesn't show up to something in the first place even to get the fine, which could void the contract. Then he tries to fight the GM. Then he uses a slur against the GM. Then he illegally records a conversation with the coach. He hired a social media firm, apparently, reportedly. Chris Mortensen reported.
Before Adam Schefter, Chris Mortensen.
So if AB signs up for, I want to be on the Patriots. I could be a good soldier and get the whole $30 million. If that's the deal worked out ahead of time, all the dots connect.
Okay. Max, you want me to tell you what's irrational about your whole conversation?
Go ahead.
Okay, what's irrational is this. You're talking about a me-first guy who had $30 million in the bag, and now you're asking a me-first guy who's been that way his whole career that you basically got to fall in line to try to get $30 million, to try to work and get $30 million.
And a Super Bowl.
Wait a minute. Which is more than likely you'll never see that $30 million anyway, because that option, $20 million. Right. You think the Patriots gonna pay AB $20 million?
You went away from it at that last part because it's not really about that. Here's what it's about, guys. He left Pittsburgh because he wanted guaranteed dollars over the course of more than 1 year. He got that from Oakland, then betrayed them. That's the issue. You had your money, you betrayed them. Now, you went to a better situation in New England because they're trying to win. But ultimately, everybody, what are we talking about here? We're talking about capitulation. How you're going to have to capitulate to Bill Belichick. You can't sit up there and come to practice late. You can't skip practices. You can't keep the team playing waiting. What's the problem with all of that? It reminds us of what he got away with in Pittsburgh. If you got away with it in Pittsburgh, who does that make us think about? Mike Tomlin. So you sat up there, and as a result, because of your own selfishness, your own petulance, your own childishness, okay, along with the fact that you seem to have no problem betraying people.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.